Hey, how are you guys? My name is Harrison Barron, and I want to teach you guys some keyword research. So recently, I made a post in a private Facebook group with Kajabi people in there. Now, if you don't know what Kajabi is, it is a learning platform or an LMS where you can have people learn, they can subscribe to your stuff, and they can ultimately go through a course that you've built. Recently, I've had some really good success with SEO and getting found online. So the reason of this video is to teach you guys exactly what I do, everything from how I find my ideal customer in a step-by-step process up to getting my content made and how I get it to rank online. This is tremendously important because when I do this, Google tends to show me out to my ideal customer, helping them buy from me. So I'm going to show you guys everything from keyword research to implementation, writing it, and how I post it. Every little bit of SEO tips and tricks that I possibly could teach you guys in a step-by-step format. I hope this video helps. This may be a longer video. I'm giving you a fair warning now, so this might be a 15 or 20-minute video, but I think it's going to be tremendously powerful. If you have a Kajabi website and you're looking to grow it organically, not through ads, this is the way you're going to want to do it. I'll see you guys over on my computer.
Alrighty, so in this section, we're going to learn about your keywords, ultimately how to create better content, and create content that is going to rank online. So this is a question I keep getting regularly about my Kajabi website, which is right here, harrisonbarron.com. Now, this is my personal website. This is not the company website, Growth Generators. Ultimately, what I try to do is get my website as high on Google as possible. That way, we have the best chance at ranking. So we're going to dive right here into Google Search Console. And before we do any of this, your first and most important thing is to know who your ideal client is and figure out what questions they're going to be asking. Now, if you've already built a website geared towards your ideal client and it's been around for a while, you're going to have some kind of rankings that you get to use. So those rankings are going to appear in your Google Search Console. And for the sake of this experiment, and I shouldn't even say experiment, but for this, you don't need Google Analytics. You really only need Google Search Console. So you'll see here, I have my website, and if I click and sort by impressions over the last 3 months, we have how to generate leads on LinkedIn, posting inappropriate things, is alignable worth it, alignable spam, how long should a podcast be, and a variety of other different queries that we're ranking for. So now that we go down, we add 50 rows, you guys can really get an idea of what I'm looking to rank for. Now, on my personal website, it's all about LinkedIn and different things regarding LinkedIn. So it's LinkedIn sales, LinkedIn connections, LinkedIn competitors, right? That's why alignable's in here. And ultimately, I have some things that are ranking number 1 on Google. If I click over here, you'll see LinkedIn Open Network, right? That's a page that might be open, that might be ranking number 1 on Google currently, right? And ranks position 1 for this page. And the way to see what queries are searching number 1 is go in here and you can see that LinkedIn Open Networker, I'm ranking number 1 for that term. This works great for a variety of other things where you can go in here and see what else you're ranking number 1 for. So I'm ranking number 2 for my name. Right, I'm ranking number 4.5, so that means typically I'm flopping between 4 and 5 for this query, inappropriate posts on social media. And this is a blog that I worked on a very long time ago. Now, keep in mind, it takes 35 weeks to get results from your blog, to get the most results from your blog. And I can tell you that because in here, if you look, this was from January 28th, 2020, right? And it's literally about 9 months, almost to the day later, and now it's really hitting its stride, where this page is actually getting a decent amount of clicks and impressions. So it's tremendously impactful, right? And if I go out of here, you'll see it's just constantly growing and growing and growing, and as time goes on, it'll continuously grow and grow and grow. Now, this might not be the most popular and searched term, but it's driving traffic to my website, and if I go over to this post, at the bottom of it, there is a join the newsletter, there's subscribe buttons everywhere, it's just loaded with information and things like that. Now, I have to go through and add a couple more links out to other areas, but for the most part, this does a really good job at getting people on my site and seeing other stuff that I have to offer. So now that I've identified what kind of person I'm looking to go after, let's dive in and try to find different topics. Now, my buddy Neil Patel has built a keyword planner, so you can go in here and you guys can go find your keyword ideas, right? So I'm going after LinkedIn. That's just the general topic I'm looking for, predominantly LinkedIn sales. So we're going to type in LinkedIn sales and we're going to let this thing load. Now, there is plenty of other softwares that will help teach us or help show us what we want to see. So in here, you'll see LinkedIn sales, right? It's not that competitive. You have your keywords right here and all their suggestions. You have the volume of searches that they estimate are towards this keyword. You have your cost per click, which is your average cost per click that they believe people are paying for on Google. You have your paid difficulty, right? Higher number means more money. Lower number means less money. And then you have your SEO difficulty. For this purpose, you want to look for those low SEO difficulty rankings. So anything in the green is really, really good. Now, this happens to be a low competition, but you'll see here that you have a 36, right? LinkedIn sales SSI is a competitive keyword. There's no sense in me trying to go after that. Now, the nice part is I can go through and I can read all of these different things to find the right keywords to go after. And then once I have those keywords, then I can go and say, I need to write a blog about that. I like to go just over to the questions. Typically, questions are great because that's a great idea for a blog. What is LinkedIn Sales Navigator, right? Super popular question. How much is LinkedIn Sales Navigator, right? Another super popular question. How to use LinkedIn Sales Navigator, right? You're starting to see a trend with Sales Navigator being a super hot topic. Now, I'm already in the process of building out a LinkedIn Sales Navigator blog, but let's just take this one for example, right? We're going to click on that link, and we're going to go over here and see how to use LinkedIn Sales Navigator, right? We have Brainshark, we have blog.hubspot, we have Wizza, we have Freshworks, and we have business.linkedin.com, right? These are the number 5 people. Now, you can go way more technical into this, but for the sake of time and the sake of efficiency and without driving you people crazy, we're just going to go and we're going to open each and every single one of the top 5 in Ubersuggest. These are the top 5 searches on Google. So if I was to copy this and paste it into Google, typically these are going to be the top 5. It does fluctuate every once in a while when Google's testing out new stuff. And then we can see Brainshark, HubSpot, Wizza, Fresh Sales Blog, and business.linkedin. Now, I'm not concerned about business.linkedin, so I'm going to close that out because I'm not trying to compete with LinkedIn, but we'll take the top 4. Now, there's an app called SEO Minion that you can download. It's totally free, and you can analyze the on-page SEO. So this blog happens to be 1,400 words, and it'll tell you how many H1s, H2s, H3s, H4s. I would recommend, if you don't have an additional software, to go through and count how many and start averaging things out. We'll do the exact same thing here. We'll do the exact same thing here. And then lastly, we'll do the exact same thing here. Now, this is going to tell us that we have, on average, this page has, 1,400 keywords. Sorry, 1,400 words. So I'll put that in here. I'll bring up a notepad. You guys can't see the notepad because it's only recording the screen. But we'll do 1463. We'll do that 2529. We will then add the 1369. And ideally, the more you do this with, the more data you're going to have. So we have 4 numbers right here where we can go into. Now I'm going to add those 4 numbers. I'm just doing this on Google because that way you guys can read it. So that's going to give us 6,671. So that is the total number of words across the top 4 sections in Google. Now, I would recommend doing this with at least 5, but for the sake of time in this video, I'm doing 4. It'll give you 6,600 words. And then we're going to take that and we're going to divide that by 4. That means the median word count on all these blogs is about 1,667 words, meaning your blog should be right around that area because those blogs are what are ranking in Google currently. So why recreate the wheel? Now, if you want to write a better blog that goes in a more in-depth, I'm never going to say no, because if you write a 2,000 or a 3,000 word blog, that's probably not a bad thing if you're going to go into extreme depth. But if you're going to write all these words and it's not going to go into great depth that's going to give the reader more value, you want to stick to around the 1,600. So maybe you're looking at between 1,500 and maybe 1,800 words, right? That's a good number. Now, there's a whole slew of other information that you can get into with counting the headings and things like that. But this is for beginners. This is to help you start ranking in Google. And then after that, what you can do is you're going to write this blog. You're going to go take that blog. You're going to go into Kajabi. And I'm actually just going to use a blog. I'll use that inappropriate blog, actually. And we can go in and edit this. So now this is what you would do on the back end for your SEO. So you have your title, which is what your title is on Kajabi. This is not your title in Google. You see the blog right here on the back end, right? There's some images in there and stuff like that. The important thing is now you have your URL. Make sure your URL is easy to read. You have the little slashes in there. And then also keep in mind, Google reads the URL to know what's inside of it. Typically, the title of the blog is going to be fine. However, sometimes they're really long. Try to keep it on the shorter end, maybe 5 to 7 words, somewhere in there. Don't go too far over, because if it's just too long, it just looks ridiculous, and sharing it is going to be a nightmare. Then you want to look into, you want to look into your page title. Can you post inappropriate content on social media, be good or bad, right? That is almost the title in here. But I've wordsmithed that title to fit in the recommended 60 to 70 characters, where this shows up as 67 characters. And then your description. If you're ever curious to know what you're looking to go after, you can go back into, after you've already posted and it's been live for a while, you can go back into that page. So let's just go back into that page. So now we're going to look at all those different things. We could grab a query, we can put it in Google, and we could start to read, and look at that, I'm number 0 on Google. That's incredible. And you can start to read what other people are posting online. So comment or read all of these things that their titles, read what their descriptions are. Go through and read every single little thing in here. This is going to help get you to the next level. This is the thing that's going to say, hey, this is something that Google should read. And Google knows that, hey, you know what? You took the time, you read what other people wrote, and you're trying to make your blog better than theirs. And that's how I ranked position 0 on this blog. Is it the best blog in the world? I think it's pretty good, but is somebody going to come along and make a potentially better blog? Of course they are. That's the whole point, but you have to keep working towards it. So these are the different queries that I'm ranking for, right? You can see your average position. My average position for this page happens to be number 8, which is great because it's in the top 10, which is awesome. First page of Google. And then you'll also be able to just wordsmith and know what that's ranking for. Now, you can also make content that helps that and complements that, but this is just a great example of a blog that works, that gets Google's attention, is driving traffic to the website. Even at position 0, it might not be that much traffic, but it's still adding 91 clicks over the course of 3 months, right? That's not terrible, but it's not bad. It's still position 1 on Google. It just shows that you can go get it, and it'll hopefully continuously rank over time and drive traffic. Always include at the bottom of your blog a way for people to subscribe, add things in there, and that's ultimately how your SEO traffic's going to go. So that is literally step by step. You want to make sure that you stay in the correct amount of words. You want to copy kind of not the exact same content, but you want to make sure that you have images on there and it's really nice to read. You don't want to create a blog that's, boring or, not exciting to read. It should cover the material that you're trying to cover. It should answer the question completely. And then ultimately at the end of the day, you have to go back and refine it. But that is how you get explosive content. It's creating that content. There's no secret sauce in Kajabi. It's literally this. They just added your image alt attribute, but that's really not that important for ranking on Google. The really important stuff is your page title, your page description, and making sure that you have content that is better than your competitors and you're producing it often. I can't stress this enough. Since the beginning of this year, 2020, it is currently 10/23 when I'm recording this. I have written almost 200 blogs. There's 215 here, right? And if we go back to the dates created, you'll see that most of them happened starting 2020, right? There's only about 5 or 6 that happened in 2019. A majority of them all happened in 2020, and that's how important it is. And most of my content hasn't even ranked yet. My content is going to consistently be shown. This is going to consistently grow on a regular basis, and honestly, it wouldn't even shock me if it just grows and grows and grows over time, even if I didn't add any more blogs to it. So that's how you rank on Google. Now, are my clicks, could they be higher? Of course they could be higher, but a lot of my content hasn't ranked yet. But this is what we do here at Growth Generators. We help create content that's going to start ranking, getting more clicks, and then over time, in a 6 to 9 month period, we can really start to change somebody's website. This is a long-term process. This is not something that you could do overnight. Typically, it takes about 35 weeks from your first post to really start ranking. So if you're doing this for the course of a year, figure it's going to take another 9 months after that first year to rank. So when we come back in a year from now, you're going to see some crazy, crazy growth in here. I can't show you guys any other websites that I'm working on just because I have a bunch of clients that they would prefer that their data stays quiet. But other than that, this is a great example for you guys to see. Keep making better content. I'll see you guys on the next part of the video.
Alrighty guys, I hope you guys found value in that. I know it's a little bit different and it could be pretty confusing, but once you guys get the hang of it, and watch this video multiple times, keyword research is absolutely the most important thing, and then everything from researching your competitors, seeing where there's voids in the market, and ultimately how you fill them and answer and add value to your clients is going to be the thing that takes you to the next level. So if you guys have any questions, please leave a comment down below. I'd be happy to answer them. If you guys found value in this, share this out with somebody you know. It would tremendously help me in growing my YouTube channel, as this is the first video of many that are coming out. And I'm going to be doing a lot of Kajabi stuff, right? That's why we got blue in the background, for Kajabi. But I hope this video helps. I really hope it impacts your business. And if you follow any of these tips or tricks, please let me know down in the comments below. I think it would be really beneficial, and I can't wait to see your websites. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing what you guys can produce. Until next time, bye.